Testing. Are we live? I think I'm live. I think we're here now. And right when I was about to say, get all gloaty and say, wow, I'm on time. Hello, hello, hello. I was gonna say for the first time ever, and of course a lot of these settings are messed up, and I look like I'm wearing a choker. Everything's a mess now, but we're here, we're live. Let's check audio. So I don't think I am blowing your ears off, because that also... Testing. Okay, we're good. We're good. Now I'm done looking like an idiot. That's what I get for not realizing how dumb I am, but we're here. I love whenever you get so confident, right? Like you're just so confident and you're like, I got this. And then all of a sudden, you're just not there. Like everything just goes wrong. I love that. But I guess that's a sign to not gloat. But whatever. But good night or good night. That just messed my head up. So long story short, I tried to stream some production stuff last night. Okay, here's the crazy part. I have all of the sound for the music at negative 50 dB. I don't know why it's so loud. I can't figure it out. Everything is at negative 50 dB. Like, I don't know what happened, but every single one of my settings, I might just have to kill the music. Or maybe just like that. I don't know. All my settings are messed up again. But that's the life of me streaming so far. But yesterday I tried to stream some production stuff, and then everything that I had sounded like it was like robotic or something like that. So I'm like, maybe it's my settings. Went through my settings. It wasn't my settings. Whatever. Basically, I had to re-download Voice Meter in order for anything to work again. And as we can see with this amazing show, I don't know. So I have a pimple that literally just broke out because I've been stressing out for the last 10 minutes. So like that appeared. So that's great and awesome. I don't know. I'm going to have to do even more digging into life, but I guess that's the fun part about it, right? Outside of that, how are we doing tonight? What's the vibes? What's the lands looking like? Because everything I had just went straight out of the water. I do have an update from one of the things I talked about yesterday about Icon, so that's fun. What else do I have? I wanted to go over this Pusha T thing because that's a little wild and all that jazz and whatnot. But really tonight I really wanted to gear it towards pretty much all of y'all that need any help or support with music and everything like that. Whether it's reviewing a track, which I don't know how that's going to go now, but But reviewing tracks, going over any rollout ideas, or anything you needed help with on the branding side or anything like that. So, um, just I guess for anyone that's watching that doesn't know who I am, my name's Colt. I go by the alias of Ragdoll TK. I'm more of a hard techno producer, but I don't know if that label fits anymore. Just because what hard techno is now is like a whole vastly different sphere of the world. Outside of that, for the last couple of years, I've been working as a music consultant, both with companies, other artists, and just kind of doing all that fun stuff. So, been around for a minute. I've really been studying the landscape of music business, music consumption, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, all the funsies. Wait, I think I just figured out. I see. It just clicked. Interesting. Okay, that's... Okay, I think I figured out my mistake. Late in the game, but we're here, so... But yeah. So like I said, I used to do these earlier in the year, with a bunch of people in my server, and you know, I had a blast doing that, and I think everyone kind of got something out of that. So I just wanted to open the floor up to anyone that needed any help or support, and try to get back on the roll. I've been waiting to get back in my studio, and as I've been saying, I just have not had the time to, like, A, I'm still waiting on my stuff to show up, and then B, I am not here enough yet to, like, be able to actually go through everything. But I am hoping in the near future we can get this room together so that way it looks great and wonderful. And yeah, all that fun jazz. So let me... Oh great, my phone's about to die. We are just off to the races today. We love that. That's awesome. And I have to be up early in the morning. But hey, who's counting the time? LOL. But yeah, so one of the people that I follow on Twitter used to be, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this person, but Swarm. His manager is like one of the Nappy the Plug on Twitter. Really, really knowledgeable guy. Has done tons of deals, all that fun stuff. But I've really been interested in the stuff that he's been finding out about Icon. And so kind of going through everything, today he posted that he got the entire music production course with notes and all the assignments. Which I find hilarious. Like, I don't know how... Well, I mean, I would know how now, but... Just imagine paying 20 grand just for an entire file to go up on a website. Just be like, yeah, here's your whole 20 grand right here. Man, that's crazy. Some of this stuff with Icon, I still can't get over. It's just one of those things I'm just like, man. It's pretty remarkable. But again, I don't want to talk bad about like the students or anything like that, but yeah, it's a little. Also, all my dogs have been freaking out, so apologies if you hear my doggos. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I guess this is a perfect time to do it. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, we're back. Dude, I don't know what happened, but like it's nuked everything. Yeah, see, there's me. Cool. Hi, everyone. And now it like window capture doesn't want to work. I don't know what happened, but this is a reason why I should never ever gloat ever again. Like ever again. Let's try this. Okay. Yeah. So let me fix this real fast. So this was all the stuff that kind of came out of like the graduating and like all of that information. Graduates employed in the field, only one person. Indicated the number of graduates employed, only one person. Graduates available for employment, 9. Graduates employed in the field, 1. Like, look at that. That's crazy to me. Yeah, so that's in 2023. That's 2023, 0 in 2021, and then 0 in 2020. Which I guess the 2021, 2020 kind of makes sense, but like the 2023 is kind of crazy. But yeah, look at this. Bro, that's look, that is 20 grand. That right there is 20 grand. That's insane. But anyways, back to me. But yeah, so I just find all that stuff funny. I don't know, maybe that's mean or bad or whatever, but I just find all that stuff hilarious. Yeah, or the networking, or I don't get to work with slander, or XYZ person that went to Icon. Yeah. Yeah. What a shame. Yeah. I mean, again, like, honestly, part of it also, and I don't know why my camera's not focusing either. I don't know what's happening tonight. I don't know anything anymore. Like the reason that you would be paying for all this anyways is because of the network stuff, the networking stuff, and this makes me look fat. Look at that. You're paying for the networking and everything like that, but like I don't want to re-rant about this because I did that last night, but like if you're really worried about getting a certificate, go get Ableton certified. Go do all that stuff. That way you can say I'm certified in X, Y, and Z. And then like I don't know, go talk to people. I mean, if you're in LA, like take that 20 grand and survive off of that while networking with people. What's funny is that I feel like some of those people would also say that college is a scam, but then they go to Icon. and then not think like it's not the same thing. And then also personally, I know people that went to Icon, so I also know some of the stuff that has gone on in Icon, and it's like, all right. You know what I mean? It's just like side eye. All right, cool. But whatever. Whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was a funny thing today, that just kind of pops open. But I did kind of think of two things. A, I realized that having a widescreen monitor kind of sucks. I think I finally realized that after 2 years, 3 years. So if you're trying to stream, using this as a window is absolutely horrid. And it's better to have two different monitors. I think that's what I finally realized. Do I regret my decision? Partially. Am I going to get rid of my widescreen? No. But am I going to have to buy another monitor to make this all work? Absolutely. And also, I guess that Mariah May went to WWE, so that's okay, I guess. Whatever. For WWE fans. Which makes no sense, because why would you bring her over in a non-pay-per-view thing? That seems kind of like a big deal, but whatever. Anyways. And then the second thing I realized is something that's really dumb that I think I should have realized beforehand, but I didn't, and we're here now. In my, like, 2 years or 3 years back or whatever, or like coming back into music, like as an actual artist, I think one of the things that I'm realizing is that the moment that you like stop, you lose like all momentum and everything, to the point where it's like you kind of lose touch with how to do things. Like, it's that momentum is 100% gone. And so I think what I now want to like actually recommend to people is, like, instead of like stopping fully, I think if you tone down like your schedule of production, or like whatever you do in music, or whatever at this point in life, I think a better option is to slowly pull back from it instead of just fully stopping it. Because if you fully stop and walk away, let's just say, you know, where I'm at in life, right? Where like I'm trying to get back into music, and it's taking so much longer than where I was, where things were just kind of like flowing. It's like getting into that flow state again. And I think that if you're on the edge or cusp of like quitting or like getting burnt out, I would say I think you should definitely try to pull back a bit rather than full on stopping. I think that's where I'm at, like, in life with like momentum and stuff like that. Because I think the thing for artists that's the most important is momentum. And like, if you don't have momentum, like, everything is dead. Like, I mean, everything. Like, you can't move up the ladder. You can't get things done. Things don't go anywhere. You know, it's just like, it's just bad. And so I think that you just got to protect yourself. And sometimes that means just slowly backing out instead of just a hard stop, walk away. Because at the end of the day, if you ever come back to it, it's kind of hard. Like, I'm not going to fake. Like, I just made my first song, and it's taken me, like, 4 times as long than it used to take me. And it's like, whoa. And it's not even, like, how do I say it? It's not even the fact of, like, making it, right? Like, that's hard. It's more of like that intuition part. like all of that's lost. Like it's just like I don't know if that works. I don't know what I'm hearing and this and that. Like as like I'm getting back in the seat now, it's like whoa. Because beforehand, I used to be like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Like, I just did what I did, you know? Like, I just got to a point where, like, I know what I'm doing. And now, like, just trying to remake this song, like, not remake, but, like, re-get into things, I'm just like, it's hard. Like, it's so full of doubt. Like, I don't remember being this doubtful in music. But, anyways, moral of the story is if you stop and you take a long period away in whatever you do, it's gonna be dummy hard. Like, and you kind of have to go with the yeah, any skill. It doesn't matter if it's like reading or, you know, drawing, art, you know, like the rust is there, but it's more so all the other things that come with it that are so vital that I think a lot of people just don't ever say publicly is like, bro, the momentum, the intuition, that instinct, that like, you know, the best way I can say it is like if you've ever played a sport, it's like walking away from a sport and then trying to play it like the next day, you know what I mean? Like it'd be like me being old trying to go play soccer, and it's like, dog. Like, not only is the fitness there, like, it's the skill set, my mentality, like, all that would be gone, you know? Like, the cockiness would probably be there, or, you know, like, that competitive nature. But, like, my body, like, sharpness, you know, it's gone. But, and, like, to be completely honest, that's why a lot of the stuff that I've been working on has been taking so much longer than usual, because I'm just, like, second guessing everything, like, and everything sounds great. Like when I put it on paper and I like view it from like a third person perspective, it sounds great, but like to me, I'm just like still so questionable about things. It's just like, oh, I don't know, like you know, like pulling the trigger is just so hard in my head right now to like yeah, 100%. Sometimes you can just do it in the moment, but if you had if you had to recall what exactly, yeah, it's like in one of the songs, it was actually playing earlier. It'll probably loop back around. Because the other thing also was I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on YouTube anymore because I try to do like all of my picks from Bandcamp of like all the new finds and everything that I found that are super cool, and like my entire stream was basically copyrighted from like different things, and I'm just like, okay, well I can't do that. And then I went on Twitch and I had one song, like literally a partial piece of the song get copyrighted and like it got muted, and I'm like, okay, so so I'm just going back to like my my whips, you know, and then seeing how that all goes. But what song is this? I don't know if I got this one signed. I have a question mark on it. I don't remember if this one's signed or not, but we'll see. I don't think it did, but anyways, that is enough about me. That is enough about my problems and my venting and my like life. This is now my 4th cup of espresso. And also funny, it's funny like going through and like forcing myself to listen to like all these works in progress. Because I did this like a couple weeks ago to where I was listening to this and I'm like, I was like, I made this? Yo, what the? Where did this come from? But yeah. But anyways, I would love to open the floor up. We've been chatting for like an hour or so. I say that. I actually have a counter. It's actually been like 30 minutes. But yeah, this NXT thing's weird. It's really catching me off. That's why I can't. I'm like, that's super weird. If you are in the Discord or you need a link to the Discord, I have it, or I attempted. I'm gonna start using that now. If you do the exclamation point and then do Discord, it should send you a whisper with a link in it. Keyword is should. I don't know if it will or not. Yeah, on YouTube it does it. Just puts in the chat. Yay! I did something right. I did one thing right. But yeah, if you wanted to like drop anything, whatever, if you're like comfortable enough with it, I would say that like I'm not mean, but I'm pretty straightforward with like things, and like I don't mean things from like a mean or like bad place. I just kind of like call things as I see them, and like if things just don't work, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna be like, but that doesn't work. I'm just not. I'm not about that. Does it? I hope not. I pay $500 a year for my server, so I would hate that there's a server limit. Also, some of the rules around Discord lately, I've been kind of confused about. It's one of those things where like things shouldn't be that hard, but then they kind of are, and then you don't get like. Again, I pay $500 for my server, and so like I would think that would open me up to do more than what I think. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It should work. I don't know. That would be another thing I have to dig into, but at this point, I don't know. Yeah, I know a lot of people that canceled Nitro. I was on the fence about it, but I use Discord every single day of my life, and it's actually how I connect with like a ton of people. So it's like one of those necessary costs that I have to have. And then with like my server and everything, it's just like I have to have it. I think I may have put too many eggs in the basket for it, but I don't know. Like, I know, what's the other one called? Sub, what is it? Let me find it real fast. Yano, what's up? What up? Oh, also from YouTube, does it look bad? Because that was the other thing I noticed before I deleted it. The stream from yesterday on YouTube, it looked horrific. And then also, you didn't tell me that it was super quiet. Today, it's the opposite. Everything is stupid loud. Substack, that's the other one. I know a couple of my friends that have been using Substack lately. They're doing like live streams, calls, blog posts, like all sorts of stuff over there. So I thought about digging into it, but I'm like, that seems like more work than I already have on my plate. So I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna like triple down in Discord. Wow, that's actually pretty nuts. I didn't know that. I don't know how you get to 200. I don't even know how you get to 200. That's a little crazy. I got overwhelmed at 20, so I had to jump out. I'm probably in like... No, I lied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I'm in 50. That's pretty bad, though. Oh, yeah. So I used to be in about 80 of them, and then 30 of them I just cut. And I've been thinking about it yesterday. Okay, thank you. Yeah, YouTube yesterday looked like super like pixely or whatever, and like I don't know, I was freaking out about it when I was watching the playback. But I had to delete it anyways because of copyright. So whatever. Yeah, I used to be in Discord servers because of like, or like a ton of Discord servers because of like FOMO and all that stuff, and then some of them were like my friend servers, so I feel a little bit bad if I leave, you know, and I was like, and then I just got to a point where like I just don't care anymore, so I started leaving, and then I started feeling the same thing last week where I was like, I just need to like dip out of some of these servers because I have my servers in like a really weird way. So I have like 4 or 6 primary ones that I go in like every single day, and then I have like an art one with all graphic art stuff that I've been learning, and then like another one for all the like old music projects that I used to be a part of or like in, and then like the last one are all the servers that I spent too much time in and I'm trying to pull out of. And I probably need to just get rid of every single server that I'm in that I muted, being completely honest. No hard feeling to any friends, but I just don't. I'm chronically online and I'm trying to stop. But that's actually super interesting. I wonder what the deal is, why it's like what's the purpose of like 100 to 200? You know what I mean? Like, that seems like a weird number to choose from. 4. Because if you're at 100, why not just do 200? Because at that point, like, your engagement is fine. Like, your engagement is like, you would want people in as many servers as possible. Chill. You missed me freaking out earlier, so we're chilling now. I was freaking out earlier, man. It was bad. Well, it wasn't bad, but like all of my audio settings freaked out. It was only a matter of time because also 2 weeks ago I got on and I guess I never logged into Streamlabs. So when I finally logged into Streamlabs, it wiped all of my settings and it put things that I had from like 15 years ago when I first started to try to stream in place, and I'm like, I have to remake all of my streaming, everything all over again. So yeah, it's been a fun time already. Yeah, we need to we need more perks to make Nitro more attractive. Okay, so here's my hot take, right? Yeah, I know. No, I do have an audio splitter. I have two. And I quit one of them because it sucked, which was a virtual cable one. And then I got the voice meter, which was working for a good minute, and then it just like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I love this one. You also probably would love my jersey that I'm wearing underneath it too. Which I might have to show off in a bit because it's stupid hot in here. Okay, so my hot take about Nitro. I think Nitro is not useful if you're not a content creator, you are not someone that's a mod for somebody on it. If you are not like active on like sending files or anything, there's a literal use. Oh, for okay, I think that might just be YouTube, completely honest with you, because everywhere else that I check, I'm gonna turn up just a smidgen bit, because I have it on at 0 here, and I'm already peaking at in the yellow. If you're not sending files, it's absolutely useless. Like I thought about canceling, like I said, I thought about canceling Nitro, and like realistically, I'll turn my mic up also just a bit. I don't think there's any use for it. And then also the other thing that I don't like is like, I don't like how they have the store. And like, again, I've been a member for like years. Let's see. Yeah, I've been a Nitro member for 3 years now. And I find it weird that like in the store, you know what I mean? Like now that they're really pushing the store, yeah, there's no there's no love, dude. There's DVs on here. I don't know why Discord doesn't allow users that have been around for like years, or like Nitro people that pay, why they can't get like a free asset or something. What the? Streamlabs, what are you doing, bro? I don't know why Streamlabs said that. I don't care about long messages. I had for 5 years and was like, why am I still paying for this? And now the recent company changes. Yeah, I feel that. I think again, if I wasn't like a music artist and I wasn't trying to build something out, because the other thing is that like there is an industry play in trying to get people to really dig into Discord or Substack or something where everyone is like there, and a lot of these artists don't have like the budget to build something out of that nature. And so like a lot of them are pushing to like have a hub or something like that. And you know what I mean? Like for me, I think again, if I wasn't a music artist, I probably would have canceled, being 100% honest. But so I think for me, it's sending bigger files, being 100% honest, like, because I max out the file. The reason I got Nitro was because the files that I was sending were so big that I needed the space. And then on top of that, I was constantly in calls. I was constantly video screening and all that stuff. You know, that kind of nature. I was running into that problem a lot, especially when I was like actually working in that field. So, like as a consultant and stuff like that. So to me, that's why I had to like bite the bullet and get it. And then it wasn't until like I got back into my artist bag that I was like, I need to use this as like my hub or my source to like bring people here, because I really don't want to focus on social media or anything. So like anyone in my server knows that like my big plan is basically that my server gets the first dibs on things, meaning that like if I have a release, they're gonna get it way before anyone. If I do any sort of like art things or whatever, they'll be the first ones to give me a yay or nay. Like, does this rock? Does it not rock? You tell me. So for me, that was a way to like siphon off of YouTube, or not off of YouTube, off of like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those places. And I just needed a place to where it was like, it's straight one-to-one. We're there. There's no real restrictions. You know what I mean? And so for me, it was like, okay, if I turn the whole server into like, you know, whatever, where you can send as many things as you want, to me, that was like, okay, that's worth my money, because it lets everyone send as much as they want and whatever. But as a Nitro user though, I don't know. I don't know if I need it anymore. So I'm in the same boat, but I still think having over 100 servers is crazy. That's so crazy. Are you like active in those servers? Because if you're active in those servers, that's even nuttier. Like I said, I'm in like 50 servers, but I'm only active in like 8. One's a Patreon that's pretty much dead at this point. So you're in 100 and you gotta clear that out. I can even say, at least for the servers, I never said a single word in, but I use the emojis and the stickers and all that. But that's so many. That's so many. I would be freaking out. Like if Discord didn't have those like file things, I would be freaking out. Cause that's actually nuts. Also, conspiracy. Okay, has anybody noticed that Starbucks has been doing these like smiley faces, right? Are these real? Because like I've been traveling, right? And I noticed them and I was like, yes, yeah. Okay, see, so you're like semi-normal then. Because I was gonna say, if you have all of those like just in a line, that's chaos, like chaos. Okay, so I noticed this in like all my travels, right? And I started noticing that all the Starbucks were like doing this. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like maybe this is just like maybe this is like a one-time thing, right? Or like maybe that's the Starbucks thing that I went to. And then I got this coffee today and it had it drawn on there, and I'm like, okay, is this a part of the cup, or did they change something to where this is like the new like thing? Like I find it cool and it's like personalized a little bit, but I need to know if that's real or not. And also, I have another hot take. Everyone called me crazy, but I do think that the next big trend that's coming is going to be drum and bass. I said that 2 years ago, and everyone called me an idiot, but I'm like 99% sure now that like drum and bass is gonna be like the next big like, yeah. After seeing EDC and like 7 people play D&B, I'm like, all right. I know they were trying to get it. I know they were trying to get it kicked off last year with like Reaper, and then them bringing over like some UK drum and bass stuff, which is great. I think after this EDC and just seeing clips of like D&B getting like the biggest pops, I think D&B is gonna like skyrocket next, maybe end of the year, and then next year it'll probably blow up. maybe, but until it gets very, very popularized at the level that techno did, I'm not fully confident saying it's gonna overtake techno or whatever. Which, again, to be 100% honest, the techno that's being played out is like not techno. So.
Look at and tell me how much hope remains.
But anyways, that's my hot take. Anywho. Funny enough, though, this song I made specifically to test out the AI that they use for the Linkin Park song. I got access to the website, and I was like, whoa, I need to test this out. So I made this D&B track for it, and it was like cool-ish. And then I never used it again. Tis the joys of life. Hey, you did it. You're in. Look at that. Bang. Oh yeah, this is a song that took me forever to finish, by the way. Okay, so here's a question, right? Do you just like join servers just to join them? Like, I'm super curious about that because like I only joined servers that I like was like a part of or I needed like education from. Yes, I am doing project reviews. Like if you need any like reviews or feedback or like just someone to bounce ideas off of, and you want to submit them, you're 100% able to. Brand reviews, anything of that nature, definitely down to help or just give feedback or whatever. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I guess you join them for a specific thing and then you forget about it. Yeah, I feel that. I think that's why I cut down on a lot of the servers and stuff like that because I was like, also before I forget, if you get the producer role, and then that'll open up the entire like area for producers and stuff like that, just because I wanted to try to keep like people that aren't musicians or anything like that. I didn't want them to feel like everything was like producer based, and them to have like their own little art section, if that makes sense. And there's not really that many restrictions in the producer area, so yeah, so go ahead. Oh, now my camera's not focusing. Okay, once. So I also have to zoom in a little bit. You're not a producer? Nani? No, a Spotify link. No. No. Boo already. No, I'm kidding. I don't use Spotify, so. Okay, see, that's my bad. Assumptions about HouseTube, and then thinking everything is house. Okay. Zach. Let's see. Do you have it on YouTube? Because, like, I'm going to be 100% honest. And I think if Yano's here... Oh, that's cool. Hobby DJs or what's up? I don't know how to use Spotify. I have zero idea on how to use Spotify, and I have such like a weird thing about why I hate Spotify. I just did not ever want to learn how to use it. And then on top of all the pay stuff as well, I hate it. Not my vibe. Very anti-Spotify. I wonder if it'll let me play it from like here. Oh, my ears. Oh, all right. I'm not doing that again. All right. Yeah, that hurt my eye, my eyes, my ears. But House 2, we actually have a couple people that are kind of learning how to DJ also. They're like in that like hobbyist or like trying to like start doing it. So, it's pretty cool that like that hub is starting to like blossom a little bit. Kind of like in the Texas area. That's like the interesting part, but yeah, that's actually one of the things I'm trying to get unrusty again is DJing. Because like I had all of these mixes ready to go before I started traveling and everything, and then as I was listening on the road, I'm like, these kind of suck. Like, I know I'm not that bad because the selection wasn't bad, but like, oh my god. These are not good mixes. So I had to scrap everything, and I was so happy because I actually made like a graphic that like was kick-ass, you know? And then like the mixes just sucked. And then I also looked like a complete ass trying to do things on stream. It was not a good time. Not a good time. I used to be good though. YouTube, there's something. We love YouTube. Even though, fun fact, I did learn this today. So, if you didn't know, okay, I'll play it. Oh, that's okay. We'll still rock with it. Also, I gotta redo my settings again. But give me a second, I got it. How do I do this? Go to settings. Hopefully it actually saves, because the other thing. Why? I hate when things work and then they don't work. Well, let's do this one. Let's test it out. Boop, 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 boop. Is this coming through? Okay, we're gonna have this problem again. I already feel it.
I could lose all my blues through the rhythm of rain, wash away all the pain. The birds chirping.
Is it actually like?
It takes away all the strain. Close my eyes and let nature embrace. I watch the wind give a wave to the grass and the plains. The flowers so pretty, showing the face. I soak up the rays of the face covered in shade. The leaves gotta sway to leave me in a state so tranquil, peaceful and safe. There's not a thing I would change, feels like I'm floating away on a cloud.
You can't hear me rant because I muted myself. Oh my god. I hate when things bug out. I hate it so much. I literally loathe it so much. It's so annoying. Like, I don't know why just bugs happen. I don't understand it. I really don't. Okay, let's try this again.
Loud with a curious
Okay, so I
shape.
can't mute it there.
A sweet aroma I taste on the breeze that makes me remember your name. I take a stop at a lake and see me shimmer away in the reflection of the water's base.
Okay. See, I'm an idiot. Okay. Zach, I know I got really sidetracked. Also, I'm, again, an idiot, but this actually sounds like something my dad would really enjoy. My dad is super into this kind of music. So I will definitely be passing this on to my dad. Oh, well, that's interesting. So did you like just throw everything at the wall? Oh, I get it. New friends, different sounds. Okay, I get the concept. I get it. I like it. Okay. It took me a second. I will say, if you did do all of that, I think it would be really interesting if you somehow connected the art to like each of those like oh, that's super cool. If you were able to like link each part of the like music, I think that would be super interesting of how you would link like a concept to that. Like if you were doing like a rollout and stuff like that, that would be really cool. But yeah, I feel like my dad would be really into this, this like vibe. Okay. I'd argue that DJing is easier to learn to get back into than producing. Yeah, because it's like, with DJing, a lot of it is just down to like, no, I see. I just don't want to talk about milky breasts. I see. I just don't want to do that. But with DJing, it's almost kind of like, almost like a beat recognition type of deal, counting and all that jazz. And just kind of learning the timing, almost like a dance. But like, yeah, because like I caught on to DJing way quicker, just because there's so many finite like thing of like every type of instrument and then the sound design, and then like the power of like an arrangement or like the structure of an arrangement, and then like figuring out like, okay, making like a banger track is different than making something that's like super emotional. Like you could try to do both, but it's easier to go down one lane and whatnot. So yeah, I would definitely agree that DJing is a lot easier. And also, I'm in the camp that, like, I think DJing is cool and just being a DJ is cool. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a DJ and a producer. Like, I feel like if you want to be a producer, be a producer. But, like, in the world of electronic music today, is like, you got to do both. It's almost like an annoying thing. Okay. Is this supposed to be like a pop punk song? Sayonara. I would say that, like, first off, I want to know, what are you producing? Yeah, that's why I stayed a hobby DJ and never got into producing. Yeah, it's like the older that I've gotten, and now that I'm like old now, okay, Studio One. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say, like, especially with the drums, I think if you were to grab the did you actually produce like all of the tracks like on this thing, or was it done by like a producer or whoever? Just because, like, myself, I've been trying to get better into okay. I think that this, like, the actual, like, the drums and everything kind of sound like a little stocky for my taste. But like, I think if you were to like wanting to get into like producing and stuff like that, one of the drums that I've been using a lot lately that sound really, really good and actually super realistic is it's a drum company that's called Get Good Drums, or GGD, and they have this new plugin that does wonders. Like, it's phenomenal. And then there's another guitar, I forgot what the name of it is, but there's a guitar VST that sounds phenomenal too. I can't remember the name of it, and it sounds super realistic. And I got it from this YouTube channel from where's his face at? He makes really good music. Like, he does like a lot of spirit box and a lot of like new metal stuff like that. And oh, no wonder I'm on the wrong page. Where's his face at? Chris Baden. He does phenomenal stuff on processing drums, like making things sound like super high quality. They're phenomenal. But yeah, but anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Just because, like, I think it's not bad, but like, it's just stocky. Oh, that's the same song. This one was actually an EDM artist who wanted to cater to my sound. Okay. Penny but not the coin. That's funny. interesting. I like the funk kind of like style. Um. Yeah, that's why I stayed a hobby and never got into producing. Yeah, it's just one of those things to where it's like you really got to have a love for the craft, or like it's don't even stay. You know what I mean? Like, I think in DJing, and I have a bunch of friends, more specifically in like Florida, that are very, very much into DJing. One of them was like an OG that I learned a bunch of OG like techno stuff from, and you know, oh, it's all good. I think it's one of those things that I think I would like the scene of electronic music to go back to DJing, very much A-tracks and stuff like that. Just because, again, like, I have so much mad respect for DJs like that. It's, they're undoubtedly super, super necessary for the scene to, like, level up. Yeah, Yano, I think YouTube is going to be one of those like question marks going forward, because like I never can tell what works and doesn't work on YouTube. So like, what would you say on this is like the big like hit? I would say like this is something up my drive, like playing. I need to turn this up. Yeah, I know. I hate Twitch as much as you do, but like, it works better. Okay, what's the final song? Yeah, because like I think Picky Eaters would be really good on like TikTok if you were like to push that one or market it. Yeah, I don't know about Kick anymore. I wouldn't say it's like cyberpunk. I would say it's just like that funk, like thing that survives pretty well on. Like, also, I'm not on TikTok, but every time any of my brothers show me something on TikTok, it's always funky related. Yeah, but that song is definitely something I would listen to. Yeah, because I think the interesting part of like having, because this is an album, right? Or would you? I mean, technically it's an album. 2, 4, 5. Why is this playing? Shut up. 2, 4, 6, 10, 13. Yeah, this is technically an album. Yeah. I think and here's the thing, because I would never try to push an album personally, because I think there's too much capital in it that you would need to like. Okay, so funny enough, I have to pause this so I can get my thought out. Okay. I think an album is actually really interesting, because if you were to try to push an album out, I think if you were to have songs that would do like well on TikTok, and then you would have one that would do well on like, let's just say like like Instagram or like Twitter or something like that, Like that would be really interesting to be able to break up your budget and then say, okay, I really want to push this song on TikTok and then make a bunch of content for that song on TikTok, but then funnel it back to the album in some way. But then if you were to have like 3 tracks specifically for like each platform and then making a funnel to each one to go back to the album, realistically, you would want to go back to yourself, where you could like collect emails or something like that for like an email blast. But I feel like that would work really well. And then maybe you pick 2 or 3 to be like your main hitters on YouTube with like a music video or something like that. Because what I was saying earlier, one of the interesting things that I learned is that YouTube itself pays less than Spotify, which is like bad. It's 1/4 of the 0.003 whatever, right? It's less than that. But on YouTube Music, which is its own entity, it pays a cent. So you actually would get more per stream from YouTube Music than you would any other platform. But you could milk it with YouTube itself with the shorts and all that stuff that you could sort of like lead back to YouTube Music, if that makes any sort of sense. But I think, yeah, like I said, I think a lot of capital has to go into an album and making it work and making it actually like, and again, it depends on what your goal is for the record, because if you want this to just be like a project, like a passion project, I think that marketing wise, who cares, right? But if you're doing it to like try to like build upon your name or like build upon whatever, I think it's a lot harder just because it takes more time and effort to like get things done. But I think your concept is really interesting that you worked with like people that gave you feedback for it. I think that's really, really cool. And like I said, I think it would be cool to like have each one of those things intertwine with like the cover art, because I think like if you were to tell me that like all the art and stuff was like connected like that, I would have been like, whoa, that's crazy. Just because it's like those small things that are like, I thought I put you on mute. Oopsies. Because again, like, it's a really, I like that. I think that concept is really cool. And I think having different volumes are, again, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what setting that is. I need to like figure out that. But like I said, I think the concept is really cool. And I think that if you were to like have almost like a more constructed like box for this release, and then really get really look at things strategically per track or album or on the tracks on the album, I think you would do really well with it, because some of this stuff, like I said, is something that my dad would like. Something like this is what I would like. But I feel like if you were to put all this together and kind of like jumble it together, I think it's going to be very hit and miss. But I like the concept. The concept is super, super cool. Okay, people really like Piggy Eater. Okay, I read that. It's called I Hope. Okay, let's play I Hope. And then before I read that, I feel like metal and techno are on opposite sides of this music spectrum. So here's what I was gonna say, and I got really messed up. There actually is a label in techno that is fully metal techno, and it's called Hex, and it's based out of Spain. I know somebody on that released on it, and like I checked out whenever, because again, I love metal and I love techno, but I was like, okay, I really am having a hard time singing these together. And in my head, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like that glimmer of like, maybe this works, right? And then I saw someone actually do it and then sing it. You know what I mean? Whenever you have like that idea and then you say it out loud and like, it doesn't work. And then as I was watching this label, that's kind of how I felt. I felt like, I was like, that's a really bad idea. Like maybe this shouldn't happen. And it was like specifically after a Marilyn Manson Sweet Dreams metal techno remix. I was like, I'm out. See you later. Horrible. I did not like that. It's bad. Yeah. Yeah, no, I doubt. I really don't got time or effort for promotion things. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I think, and here's kind of where I'm at because I think promotion and stuff like that is really, really tricky with like everyone being so saturated and like everything possible. And I think that part of the things, and I know that this is going to be like one of those like, I don't know, controversial things or whatever, but I really think that when you have all of the technology that exists, where you can automate things, I personally am one of those people that I'm very post like copyright. I'm very post uh, DSPs and all that stuff because I feel like it's just one of those things that it's just another middleman. And when you have technology that allows people to just say, hey, if you're interested in this, like a pre-save, right? So I've asked my friends that are in the actual industry at like not even artist level, but like on the actual like admin side of things. And pre-saves are so hit and miss now that it's like sometimes it does good and then sometimes it just doesn't do anything. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, but why not just like, you know, they have those things where it's like, if you want the music, right, like bread or something, right? And then you get a DM and all that stuff. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, if the song is already out, why not just link people straight to the song? You know what I mean? You're going to get the same bumps. It's just not quote unquote pre-saved. And for me, it's like, okay, to me, that's part of promotion though. Like that's part of the marketing strategy and whatnot. So, yeah, what did you put, Iano? I didn't see anything in the server or wherever you have things. um, but yeah, I think if you do things out of passion though, I think that's super cool. And I think that YouTube or not, I think YouTube and SoundCloud are going to get another like I know right now. Also, I'm going to fix the Streamlab thing. I don't know why it keeps doing this thing, so I'll fix this later. I have it. I need to write that down, actually. Fix Streamlabs. Long message. Thing. Question mark. Okay. I actually have like 5 sticky notes of to-do things. like sitting right here. Some of them I've done, but did it really? Okay, I gotta figure it. It won't. I don't think it'll let me do anything right now. Hold on, let me see. But I have like this weird thing that will let me do things. It will. Okay. Paragraph protection. Okay, let me turn this off. Let me see if that does anything. Apologies to everyone. I'm still learning how to do this stuff. Send punishment message? Oh my god. Ban? Oh my god, dude. I'll do like 5 seconds if this doesn't work. But it should be off now. Okay. Hopefully that goes away. Apologies to everyone. But yeah, I think SoundCloud and I think YouTube are gonna make this huge like. Oh, okay. I can definitely do that. I think they're gonna make a huge comeback, and personally, I think Untitled is a very untapped source for trying to funnel people back to your project. Personally, I think that and Disco. Disco is like another form of Untitled. And basically what they are is like a hub for like unreleased music or something. Like if you're like works in progress, it basically is just a Dropbox in a sense. But what I've heard is like Disco does more than Untitled, but I don't know. I think they're both cool. They might have a label party in my city. Well, funny enough, Hex. I wonder if they're still going. Let's see, Hex. Techno live show. Oh man, yeah, he's still going. Valencia, yep, in Spain. Metal Tech. I See Stars in a band. Okay, I love I See Stars. Okay, I See Stars. Abandon All Ships are old school. Zach, have you listened to anything from North Lane? North Lane is like my jam right now. They're so good and super, super underrated. Oh, also let me play this song because I said I would, and then I got sidetracked, which is on brand. Okay, I'm gonna play this last song, and then Iano, I'm on to you. Okay, if North Lane is like a 3.0 version of what I See Stars is. Phenomenal. Electronic music. They use Eurorack modulars to do their sound design. Phenomenal. Also back to the album combo, I will most def be releasing an album because I love the art of making one and creating one, creating the whole thing behind it, etc. Yeah. Yeah, like I love albums too. Like I don't want it to be twisted. Like the album process is one that I treasure so much, which is why I have such high respects for it. And so I think that if I didn't have the money to back it, like my mental thing is like, if something that I do doesn't match the quality that I want it to have, then I just won't do it because I want it to have the moment that I envisioned it to have it. And if I can't give it to it, I just don't want to do it. And I think for an album, like I said, I have such a big like shining star of like, if I do an album, it needs to be like part of my soul just left kind of thing. Like I just don't want to do one just for the sake of doing one. I think if you were to do concepts to link to tell a story, I think you would still get that same itch, but also you would make smarter decisions, you'd be more strategic, and it would be cost benefit to you. It is a vibe though. Oh, I gotta figure out how to play your song. Oh wait, I did. How did I do it the other day? I played it yesterday. How did I do that? Oh wait, did I download it? I feel like I downloaded this. I did, okay. I like it. I like it. I think, like I said, I think a lot of it is stocky in a way, and whatnot. But I think if, like, again, like if the a little bit of the concept was fleshed out, and there's actually, I read a book that was really, really good on teaching this stuff. It's called the Story Brand, I think it's called. Building a Story Brand. I think that book helped me frame things, and there's a second one apparently, so I guess I got to read that one too. But what it did was it really helped me focus on how to tell the story of whatever I was trying to do. And I think that with what you had, if you could link that to, and I know a lot of people hate this, and I saw this on threads earlier with people basically bitching about like, oh, I want to be a musician, I don't want to make content. It's like, okay, but if you want to be an artist and you want to do things, it takes content to build that. Like, that's just the name of the game. Like, if you want to be a musician, that's cool, but like, stay over there. Like, go do the classical route because that's what works. In over here world, you got to have some sort of content. But for me, I view content as just another way to tell my story or like build the lore behind whatever I'm trying to say. And I think that, like I said, this book, Building a Story Brand, it isn't just about like the brand. It's actually about the messaging behind every step you move or every step you take in the direction of your brand, which is something that I think a lot of people definitely should do or read or pay attention to. Okay, let's play this. Also, I don't feel like I need to turn it up loud because your master is hella loud. And also, I played this for my dad and he liked your song too. My dad is a huge music guy and a dubstep guy, as I said yesterday. I'm shocked you still haven't sent this in a DM to like ISO X or whatever his name is. And also, I'm gonna roast you because I love how you can make all of this stuff dirty, but you can't make that race now dirty at the end of it. Do you know how much I was like, bro? I told my dad, I was like, do you hear how like weak that Reese is?
You can go fuck yourself.
But yeah, I think you, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that I think you gotta like, you gotta start sending this out on SoundCloud to people. I think who was it in the server? I think you gotta get this to like, I know it's shooting your shot, but why not? I think you should just DM this song, not over Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. Listen to what I'm saying. DM on SoundCloud. Night Punk, anything of that genre, ISOX or whatever, like anyone in that world, I would just be DMing this song. Cause like the quality is good, the mix is good, the sound design is up there. You just got to get it out. I told you that's all you need to do now. And also, we need to talk about this girl as your focus point. Because you're going to get catfish allegations. You know that, right? Oh, cool. It just goes right into my music. I still don't know if I got this track signed. Yeah, like, you're talented. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you this. You're at the level that you need to just go get yourself popping. Oh, it's over? Okay. We can turn myself down. We don't need to hear me. Honestly, I don't know what works, doesn't work. I'm just lowering things and hoping for the best. But yeah, I think that you should go with the original idea that you had, where you were like the what was it? You were like in like the high fashion, like blacked out outfit or whatever, and do stuff like that. I think that's a vibe, and it's more fitting towards like what you do and what you are. That I think it'll connect more with everything like that. If I didn't get this track signed, I need to get this track signed. I probably need to figure this out. But yeah, like I think again, like, you're just at that level, man. I think you just need to go for it. I was about to make that joke. I was gonna be like, wow, so it's a story about being single? Okay. No, I think that's part of the thing that like you gotta kind of like think about it from like the listener. Yeah, I told you need to learn how to DJ. It's kind of important. You're also in LA, so it's not hard for you to go get poppin'. You just gotta learn all of like the things and then just go do it. Cause that's where all of the trap bassy things are happening anyways. Like, that's the hub. But like, again, it just comes down to the messaging part of it, because like for me, that's why I'm so confused, because I'm like, I don't understand where this girl or why this girl's important to like your covers, because I'm like confused. I'm like, I don't know who she is, where there's no explanation. So that's kind of where, if you were to try to like play into the algorithm game, right, where you're like posting three times a week or whatever, right, those little bits could be like you telling the story of like this breakup or whatever. Like, it's again, you got to think about it as if like you're reading into the situation, and if you're reading in it to the situation from the outside perspective, like, how are you gonna know what's going on? You just think that like Iano is this girl, like that's the way that it comes off. Now, obviously, I know it's not a girl that's producing; it's you that's producing it, but it's just the perception of things. Also, I gotta say, the thing about Threads that I really don't like is that it's turned into like all the questions and whatnot. Is that are those the names of the tracks? Also, Darude is really going through it. I'm really thinking he's going through it. Cause I don't think he's a troll, but like, he's trolling hard on Threads. Okay, so like, that's good, but you gotta like connect the pieces for people. Like you have to connect the pieces of those track names. Like, like it could be as simple as like posting a heart breaking, right? Or like something that that shows unity or something like that, right? That way the listener or your fans can kind of follow through the lore and they can connect the pieces more clearly of like, oh, so this is the journey that we're going on. This is like where we're going through this whole process and whatnot. Because if you're just looking at that, like, and again, you have to take into account how much people listen to all sorts of music and stuff like that. So they're listening to these tracks and they may not connect the pieces of like the story that you're telling. That's why you kind of have to like tell people like they don't know, or almost communicate your messaging in a way that makes sense. Like whether it's through the song titles, whether it's through the artwork, whether it's through all the quote unquote content that you put out, just being as detailed as you can so that way the listener's like, oh, I get it, like I fully get the whole thing. Like I think as of recent, I think my favorite story, there's actually two of them. Bring Me the Horizon's last album, I have gone absolute stan for it, all that jazz. Okay, cool, whatever. But I think that the way that they structured it made so much sense because of the fact that everything was around a video game. They made it very, very known that it was a video game and they knew that you were getting into it. Oh, thank you. It's a track that I don't know if I got signed or not. I made this song 5 years ago and I don't remember if it got onto a label. I can't remember. Yeah, I used to, yeah, you may not know this. I used to know how to make music back then. And then I just fell off. More so, my brain collapsed. But, so that everything around it was around a video game. All the content that they posted was about video game stuff. The characters of the band were in like character whatever. And then the other part that was really cool was that there were secret Easter eggs in it that would go to websites. It would go to secret pages and stuff like that. So for people like me that are like, if an album came out or like a track came out by my favorite artist and there's little like Easter eggs, I'm hooked, like hardcore hooked. You know, and the other one that I really like is Melanie Martinez and what she did with the whole Crybaby series from where she first started to the end of it, which was like super weird as hell. But it was a really cool story of like following her through the journey of like her first like major label deal. Like I thought that was really, really cool. And the fact that she actually made a movie out of an album is quite phenomenal as well. Yeah, I know. Well, Cardi didn't stop making music. Cardi was making millions of dollars and touring. So, whatever. I had a mental collapse and I couldn't handle it. So, I stopped making music. We're very, very different, okay? I know that's the meme in the server, but like I'm gonna get there again, trust me. I just need to I gotta get back in the mental gym, you know? Or the producer gym. But yeah, farming on threads is super easy. You either say something about people or like rage bait or just ask a question and you're through the roof. GTA 6 got delayed a whole year, so you got, yeah. I told you, I'm gonna drop later this year. I have all my plans worked out that I'll be dropping later this year. Like, this actually is the first song. I probably shouldn't turn it up that loud. This is the first song off of, like, me coming back. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but... And I also lost the file somewhere. Which is why it's like, eh. I'm torn in between calling it like Hello or just like Untitled. But I want to have Untitled because I love that name for something else. And it's also super basic and also why I hate this one. I don't know if that would hit, but it might. But, yeah. Well, I don't know. It might. Because one of the tracks that I got signed, or my last track that got signed, basically, was by a dubstep guy, so maybe. Or a dubstep guy that went techno. Hard techno. And then, funny enough, started going crazy in the hard techno scene out of nowhere, so that was fun. Yeah, so like kind of the plan that I have is I think I've already lost out for the first quarter in the summertime. Like if like in music world business wise, if you don't drop music at least 2 or 3 months in advance, you're pretty much behind. So I think that I already called basically the summer a wrap, and I think that if I just lock in and just build up an entire vault all summer long, I think that gives me enough room to release about 6 songs in quarter 3 and 4, build up a little bit of momentum, and then also use that to send out to labels and then build up stuff for next year that'll come out. And then if we can get that going, then if I get the label / collective thing idea that I have going, that would be another avenue to have me start releasing more music more often. So like I said, there's different things. I still have to finish my curation post, figure out a system that works best for that. Got to get my mixes up so that way we have mixes going. Then on top of that, get consistent with streaming. Hopefully I'm not on the road as much the rest of the year, but get back to streaming consistently, doing all that fun jazz. And then lastly, once we build all that stuff up, we finally can start getting on the road, doing shows, meetup, greets, whatever. But I think my biggest thing is like, I was thinking about this a lot the last couple months. I think wherever you start building your model for your business, music-wise, I think you're pretty much catered to it. And I think that if you're a live act, you're pretty much catered to being on the road all the time. And I know that the money on the road is like the best, but right now the cost of doing shows is so high that you're basically almost taking a loss every show. So I think that I would like to build up the internet model of myself before I even exit off to do like the other side of things personally. Just because A, I don't like to leave my house. B, I don't like DJing as much as I thought I did. And I think that's just another thing that I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I think the only other thing that I would do is like live production, which would be like Eurorack stuff and all that stuff. But I think that's kind of the other thing is like model wise, it's really important to figure out what you kind of want to do in that world. I'm making a 3-track EP. Would you say it's better just to release a single so that way I don't miss out on the summer, or does it matter? If you didn't already get them ready, you're already behind. So if you wanted to release them for the summer, you should have already scheduled them all in April and May. So I think that you would have already missed out on the entirety of the summer. The only way that you can make that up is if you get that track pushed to producers that are playing festivals or a lot of big live shows, so that way you can use that promotional, like that content as promotion for your EP later, if that makes sense. So the best way to think about things is that if you're releasing music, you want to be 2 months out. So if you want to release in the summer, you have to get it done by April. Song, cover art, metadata, streaming, accounting, all that stuff done. Like you just don't want to do anything, so that way by the time it's time to like hit it, all you have to do is schedule your release content, stay on top of it, engage, be everywhere at once, non-stop talk about it, you know, try to get on blogs and all that stuff. That way you're maximizing your release 100%. I think the other thing that you possibly could get away with is like, let's just say if it's 3 songs, right? You could release one as a single and then lead that into the EP. That could be another thing that you could play around with. I think honestly you should get that song out. Like I said earlier, I think you should be DMing people on SoundCloud and saying, hey, I'm a fan of yours. I made, you know, I would even send about, if you have an EP that's like that, or an EP that you're like, I think this song would go really hard, I would put it in a little package, or what is called as a care package. And I would say, hey, you know, I'm kind of entering the scene, blah, 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 blah. Here's a care package of my songs. I would really appreciate it if you could listen to them. If you like it, you know, if you could play them out, that'd be great. And I'd hope to, you know, keep in contact with you afterwards. And then wherever that goes is wherever that goes. But again, it's just one of those things that I think you just need to start like breaking out more and connecting with people doing things and moving. You need to be with movers. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the movers is where you got to be at now. Like your production's good, your quality's good. You just need to start moving. That's the name of the game, man. But yeah, I don't really have any other things to say because like I said, you're ready to go to the next level, man. Like you just gotta go. Like you just gotta move. And you're in LA, so it's like go to shows, go talk to people. You're single now. Go out, go do things. But yeah. I really gotta go through some of these songs because I don't know. That might actually save my life a little bit. So keep it in the vault, but share it out to other artists and release it. Okay, so think about it like this. How do I word this? Okay. If you were to release this music, right? And you were like, I want to get it done now, right? Like, let's pull out a calendar real quick. Okay, so it's the first week of June. I would say if you really want to get this song out, like your heart is like on the summertime, I think in distro world, you have to get your song out like a month out in advance. I could be wrong. But you want to give yourself an entire thing or an entire month to get your stuff straight. And I would say get all of your content together. So I would schedule out, okay, you would need this song? I don't know where the song is at. It's somewhere on my computer. I have it on VLC and I just press play on a playlist. This is actually a throwaway song, to be honest with you. Okay. Also, you're throwing me off track. Okay. So, the whole month, schedule it out. Break out a calendar and say, okay, I need to have 2 pieces of assets done for, let's just say, a month. Okay. So that means that you would need 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 pieces of assets done. So that way you can get social media done, right? And you can reuse content and all that stuff just to keep yourself moving. I don't think right now anyone cares in the world. So if you do that, you get 8 pieces of content, tell the story throughout your content. I would get a single out next month. And I would start using that song or that care package, and I would send that out this week to like 10 producers that you really like. And if you can get 2 of them to play it, dude, that's huge. That's a 20%. And on top of that, if you can build a connection with that artist, that's even better, because now they know who you are. They'll tell you if they like your music. And on top of that, if they played it live, then you can say, I mean, sometimes it works out to where those people will tell you, yeah, this song hit live. Like, it went crazy. I know some people that also have their people record them playing it live and then send that to them as well. And that way you get the content from the show of like, yo, they played your song live. Like, you know? And I would say I would use all of that stuff as promotional content. So that way, if you, again, personally, I would be looking out 2 months. But if you're so adamant about getting it out, I would have a song scheduled to release the first week of July. First song as a single, first week of July. Then I would have your EP come out towards the end of July, maybe that week of the 28th, possibly the 21st. Okay, and then that way you could have a song out during, or your EP out in July. Then what I would do directly during that whole release cycle, if you have everything planned out, I would start scheduling out all of August and September, and I would do the same exact thing. I would get a song out in August for your next EP, and then slow roll all of your content for September, and then just cycle, do the same thing. 10 songs, 10 different producers. Maybe you get the 2 that liked you, say, hey, here's my next EP also. And then that way, it's just one of those things. But again, I think one of the things also in electronic music and why I've changed a lot of my thinking over the last 6 months. I think SoundCloud is an absolute necessity now more than ever with electronic music, personally. I think that the ground that it's making up with connecting to people and the amount of work that SoundCloud is doing to make it more what's the word I'm looking for? Organic. I think they're doing a really, really good job. And I think also in our world, I think that SoundCloud numbers mean more now than they ever have. Meaning followers, counts, all that stuff. I think it's going to be a revolutionary of SoundCloud within this year, next year, personally. Yeah, I might release these songs. See, I might release some of these songs too. I don't know. I haven't listened to any of these except when I get on stream. So, I'll probably scrap the EP idea for now just to focus on building more momentum. Yeah, you probably missed it. I think that momentum is one of the most powerful things that an artist has at their discretion. And the moment that you lose it, I think it does a number to you in your growth and stuff like that. So I think if you can focus purely the next 6 months on just momentum, releasing on SoundCloud, you know, personally, DSPs and all that, I think it's important, but not as important as building up somewhere solid, somewhere that you can upload at any given time. It goes up, and really just connecting with people. You're in the perfect place. You're in the perfect area. You make really good music for what you do. You just need to really build momentum, connect with people, and then get it pushed. I think, again, and I keep saying it, I'm going to harp on it, you are very, very close to where Insomniac is really pushing bass music, and especially the trap music right now. Trap bass music, whatever that's called right now. I think you're almost at the core of it, and I think that you breaking into that world is more easy than you realize. You just need to go talk to people. For me, I'm not in that world. I know a little bit about it because I know the people that kind of are around that, but like, what I know is that you're almost by the hub of it, and I think that you breaking in is so much easier than you really realize it. But yeah, focus on momentum. I would say dedicate the next 6 months to just purely building momentum. DSPs are important, but I would say make that your second priority after the momentum part. Start figuring out a way to start funneling people back to you, whether it's through email, whether it's through a Discord server, somewhere that you can have direct access to everyone. That's got to be your main priority for 6 months. And then everything else, then you come back to it. So, I think, again, I'm not really in that world. I would say I think your music is good. I think your music is something that would, and here's the way that I think about things, and this is why I disagree a lot with what people say on this kind of realm. Everything in music, and especially in the music industry, is hella competitive. And I think that when you start wanting to get or break into the industry, you kind of have to compare yourself to what's really hitting at the moment. And I think that if you can compare a song with at least 5 people that are running that genre, I think that would tell you everything you need to know. Because if your music is at that same level, I think you're good. If the quality is good, the because unique is going to be something that is, every listener is going to have something unique. I mean, Cone Sound to me is hella unique, but that could be anything. I think some of breakcore is kind of unique, but to other people, they're just like, that's just breakcore. But I think that would be something that you would have to make the decision on, and you would have to say that, and also be confident, because that's the other part, is that if you want to really try to, like, again, make it into it. You got to make sure that like your competitive and your quality can match up to not the top heavy hitters, whatever, but like the people that are just below that. If that makes sense. Like if you can do the same thing as the people that are at the B level, just breaking into it, I think that tells you everything you need to know. Especially when you're trying to network with all the people that are kind of up and coming and all that stuff. You know, I always think about it as like, kind of like a tier list. Like you have, you know, amateur, novice, up and coming, hot, main stage, and then icon, and then legendary. You know what I mean? Like so you kind of just want to like hit in between like the hot and then like the up and comers, kind of like in that range. If you can get in that range or find people that are like there and you're like, yeah, my music kind of hits the same, then like go for it. Who cares? No, you don't need me to schedule that plan in writing for you. Think about because some of this stuff you gotta figure out yourself, because it doesn't, like the way that I work in 2 months out. So the way that I think about things are way different and whatever, but you gotta have a thing to where it's like, if I gotta release all this stuff in a month and the goal is I don't want to stress myself out during the release period, I need to get all this stuff done within a month. And if that means that you get all of your assets done in 1 week and then you get all of the metadata and all that stuff finalized the next week, you know, and then you push your track out that 3rd week, and then you just figure out the next month I release this scheduled. And you know, the other thing that helps also is that on all of your assets and content, if you put release date 1 and then the date and then 2 whatever, I think that helps too. Yo. I'm gonna say your name wrong and I really don't mean. Is it Myra? And also, I'm like semi-blind. Is that a 6 or a B? Miraboo. I like that. No, I really did. I'm like semi-blind, so I had to look and I'm like, wait, is that like a B? Because that's kind of a cool B. And I'm like, oh wait, that's a 6. That's sick though. Miraboo. That's cool. I like that. Metadata. Metadata is track name, genre, time, there's like a ton of different things on it, but if you, okay, so here's the thing. If you, and you can do this right when you get to the computer, if you go to any song and you right click it and you go to properties, all of the, or that's not right. Okay, go to iTunes. Sorry. Go to iTunes. Go to iTunes, get all the data and stuff like that, and then all that stuff should be filled out. Name, song, writers on it, producers on it, which is all you, but fill all that stuff out. All of that stuff is metadata. And then also, here's another lane that you also could do as well. So we talked about SoundCloud. Another lane that you could probably pick up is Bandcamp. I always forget about Bandcamp, and I love Bandcamp. I'm a maxi for Bandcamp, but Bandcamp is super underrated right now. I know there's a ton of articles that are out, really like pushing it and whatnot, but Bandcamp is lit. I love Bandcamp. Also, I'll be right back. I need to use the bathroom like super bad. Coffee and all this water is like that. So I'll be right back. Yes, yeah. And Miraboo, I actually had to stop my Bandcamp curation yesterday because I got hit with copyright on YouTube and on Twitch And I was like, these are like super obscure labels. How am I getting copyright hit? But if you go to Bandcamp and look up my collection, I have over like 300 collections or something absolutely wild. I love collecting music. So I will be right back. Is this loud? Also, this is a song that got rejected, and I was very upset about it. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we back. Okay. Okay. Be safe on your walk. Yeah, this was the jersey I was wearing underneath it. Super sick. Shout out Real Madrid. Hello Madrid. We love the 90s kits. You actually have the things to make it. All the things that I told you to get, those are the same things that I did. All it is deep glow for the letters, and then putting Signal, the After Effects plugin on it, does it. Like well, I'm not ending, so don't go anywhere, people. I just want to show y'all something. Also, it's gonna pop, so I apologize, but I have to redo all this stuff. So again, I'm not ending, I'm just showing for an effect. Yeah, so like the Signal is causing that glitch, and then all of that is just that deep glow is what makes that red pop. But yeah, it's actually a lot simpler than I thought, and honestly, it just took me like just making it to, I think where I'm at is I think I just have to do things just to do it, so I get it. Like I'm learning that I'm just a very hands-on person. Like if I just have to like touch things to get it. I just can't. I used to be one to like be able to like read and get it, but now I have to like physically touch it like to get it. I don't know why. I don't know what happened in my brain, but maybe it's just me being old. Being 30 changes your life, man. And then also, with tornado, hurricane season just started, and like the summer, I realized that you guys have you ever had a product where you're just like, I feel like it doesn't work, you know what I mean? But you keep trying it, and you're like, I feel like it's doing something, but it's not. I have this product for my hair that keeps the frizziness down, and my hair actually is like an afro, so I straighten my hair every day to try to get it calm. And I've been using this spray that's supposed to like help with frizziness and whatever, and I'm like, man, this feels like a scam. Like, I feel like it's a scam. And then today I didn't use it, and bro, my hair is so frizzy, it's horrible. And it's not soft. It's like my hair, I feel like I need to rewash my hair. And I'm like, man, I guess it's not a scam after all. But also, you know, you kind of gave me a little bit of like courage to try to get some of these songs signed like next week. I might start sending these songs out. Who knows? I might hit up my friends. Oh, that's interesting. I've been using I think it's Avalon. I don't remember. I'm really bad with names, but yeah, it's like some mist spray that it's supposed to help with frizziness. That's all I know. And I was like, yeah, I feel like it's a scam. I'm not putting it in, not anymore. Bang. Your hair feels like hay. Sucks to suck, loser. Yeah. I'm a person that all I need is one yes and I do it. I'm very much in my own head, but once I get the courage, like by one person to say, yeah, that song like hits, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm back on, like we're sending this stuff out. And then once I get two, what word do I want to use? Egotistical or too confident, I don't get any feedback and I just do whatever I want, which is where I'm trying to get back to. But again, I'm just like, I'm also like in that camp to where it's like, if you really trust yourself and you kind of build yourself to like know what you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Like, you know the vision and you know like what you got to do, and like where you're at technically, skill wise, you have it, so that's not like an issue, right? And I think that's where, if you know that technically you can do it and you just have to be creative now, that's easy. Like, that's just opening or figuring, you figured out what the box is, and now it's just that constant thing of like, how do I break out of the box? How do I make this different? How do I make myself different and whatnot? So, in the phase that I'm at and coming back out after like 2 years, it's one of those things where it's like, I need a pat on the back and then I'm off. I'm good. And actually, let me see if I have this song signed. Nope, I don't have the song run. Funny enough, there is another ragdoll. That's funny. No, I don't have the song signed, so what was the song for? I have it for SM. SM. I don't know. But yeah, I think, and also the other thing too is that I'm very tactical when it comes to like hitting a target, and so like for me, it's like I already have 15 different labels that I can reach out to, and like try, and I know for a fact some of the stuff that I have fits what they need. So that's the other thing, is that like I'm very much a big believer in like I don't know what the technical term is, but like chance and ratio and like chance percentage of like this hitting and whatever. I'm very much in that camp. Some would say like game type knowledge. But yeah, I think that also plays into it, like being efficient with what, like being realistic with yourself and saying, okay, I'm not gonna send this over to like Mousetrap because this doesn't hit on Mousetrap. You know what I mean? Like, why would I waste time with that? So, be confident. That's why I keep telling y'all on the server, like, y'all have skills. You just gotta be confident. Like, execute it. Do something. And then stick to it. Just go. Because, like, and then as I always say, respectfully, being a nobody means you have the freedom to do whatever you want because no one's looking at you. That's the beautiful part about being the nobody, is like you can do things to where it's like if it doesn't hit, or you're like I just feel like it didn't match to what I wanted. Okay, on the next release, change what didn't work or what didn't fit, and then make it fit, and then you just keep building on that. That's like the thing that I love being a nobody. Like, it's do whatever the hell you want. Like, that you don't have fans to answer to, you know what I mean? So it's like, do whatever, and then whatever hits. And you're like, oh well, I know that works, so let's just keep doing that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, like it's kind of like, you know what hit and you know what works, and you kind of can deconstruct that and say, okay, I did this and this and this worked, so let's do this again, and then add some sprinkles on it, whether that's the musical side or the marketing side or whatever, you know. Studio album. Yeah, I need this. Shout out to Studio AAA. They have a really sick plugin that I want, and it's called BitBoy, and it does dithering and stuff like that. But what it can do is it actually can replicate CRTV, like effects and stuff like that. So if you're working on an art piece and you're like, I want to have that effect, it can do it, and I love that. Also, what time is it? Oh, it's only 10:30. Let's go. I do have to jump off in like a little bit because I have to pat. I kind of forgot to do that. Oopsies. Oops. And then I do have like one other track that I want to like get into, and then I'm also gonna do it in the server because I want to do it twice because I'm a nice guy. Oh wait, I just connected the dots. Miraboo, I'm so dumb. Okay. 15 minutes. I don't remember. What time was that at? I don't remember. Okay, I didn't connect the dots. Okay, so here's what I mean, and this is why I want to play this. And this is actually perfect because this is a perfect send-off. Okay, how did I do this earlier? Okay, go here. I download it and then drag it in. Okay, got it. Okay, download it and then drag it into here. Okay, Iano, can you tell me if you can hear this, please? Let's turn this up a little bit, because it's a little quiet. Okay, Miraboo, when you get back, I have it actually ready to go, so look at me. Look at where we started. We started with absolute catastrophe, and we have reworked everything back to working. That's what's up. Okay, why does nothing ever give me a time? I just want to know what time it is. Okay. Okay, so Miraboo, when you get back, just let me know. And then I'll actually go into it a little bit more. And no, I'm not going to roast you. I'm not going to do any of that. Everything I have is purely critiques in order to make the track better. Because that's what I do. I don't like ripping people down and all that stuff. Like, that's not my thing. I mean, it is, but not like in this thing. Because I want to try to make things better. I don't want to like go in and like ruin any confidence. That's not what I'm about. And all that. Where's my stuff at? And then also, if I were to get these songs re-released, or not re-released, but released, I wonder if I would have to go in and remaster them, because I don't know if they're mastered or not. Because that's the other thing that kind of sucks, is like, depending on what label, you either have to master them yourself or master. And with my chaotic landscape of organization, I have no idea what I did. I don't know if I mastered it, if I didn't master it. It's a mess. Okay. Okay, that got released. That got released. That's Null Sex. Infra. I don't think this song got released. I'm like confident it did not get released. I bet it's on Bandcamp, or not Bandcamp, Beatport. Yeah, bass core. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Miraboo, when you're back, we'll go over all this again. And whatnot. Okay. And while we do that, I'm gonna go look, because I don't know if this song got released or not. Because I have it released. Okay, it didn't. I know for a fact it didn't. Okay. Wow. Wow, and I ended up on another release. Okay. Wow. I didn't know I ended up on another release. That's pretty crazy. Wow, okay, so my last release was 3 years ago. Damn. That's crazy. I did not think the song, that makes me really happy because the song that I actually really liked, I thought the mix sounded absolutely horrible, and apparently it's my top selling track. Like when I say I disconnected, I totally mean I disconnected, like from everything, which is not great business-wise. Wow. And it looks like Beatport also redid their website. What is this song? Bro, do I have the next 6 songs ready to go for this year? Bro. Look at my old self go. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Oh my god. And then also, the other thing that I realized, I really don't think I can use this push. I'm on the verge of just putting it in the pile for maybe tomorrow. Like, and by tomorrow, I mean I just never use it again. I don't know what it is, but the flow, I need something sequencer, like I need to touch it, and this just doesn't do it. I don't know why, I can't figure it out. The push just does not work in anything that I do. And I've tried recently, I've tried to just really force myself to use it. Mixing wise, I can't use it. Sequencer wise, I can't use it. I don't connect with it. The only thing I actually use are just the knobs for like controlling plugins and stuff, but I don't know what I and it takes up a ton of space on my desk. Like, I'm trying to do really well with like minimizing my space, but yeah, that was the other kind of like realization I had today, or not really today, but like in general. And then also, guys, I think I'm gonna get this sigil jumper from Bringing the Horizon. It's so hard. I love it. Because I realize that, like, I really don't have that many, like, sweaters. I have, like, a ton of hoodies, a ton of shirts, but I don't have sweaters. And that's kind of like my thing, you know? Okay, Miraboo. You're back. All right, so let's go over this real quick. so that way I don't hold you for too long. And then I'm gonna play the mix that you sent, the last one, because I think it's like the best thing. And also it is a clicky kick. I thought earlier on my other headphones it was click, it wasn't clicky, it's clicky. Okay, can you hear it? Are we good? Okay, can we hear it? Okay, so I'm gonna turn it down just a smidge, okay? Because I want to just talk about a couple things, but I have it marked in my head. Okay, sound palette, really good. Okay, I can tell that very mousetrappy, but the sound palette that you picked, absolutely on point. So one of the things I would say is that the selection is not like you got to go back in and like find some more sounds or whatever, right? I think what we have right here is really, really good. Okay, so let's cross that off. Now, let's get to the other parts. There's the king. There he is. Yes. And that was the next thing I was going to say is the vibe of this track is really good. Okay, and why I was going towards a no mana, because I can hear the no mana in it. Like this is a no mana right here. And that's not a bad thing, okay? Like, well, King, you're always welcome. Glad to see you for a second. Okay, so we love the vibe. We love the sounds in this song. Okay, those are things that are really good. Because maybe I'm crazy, right? But do you think this is a clicky kick? Let me turn it up again. Because I feel like this is a clicky kick to me. But it's like at different points. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. Like, I cannot figure it out. It sounds like it wants to be clicky, but I can't tell. Okay, so let's turn it back down again. Okay, so we got 3 minutes of this song, right? Okay, see, so I'm not crazy. I was thinking the same thing because I'm like, it's like clicky and then it's not clicky. And I'm like, is this the same kick? I can't tell. So your song, in theory, right? Just looking at this, not counting the echo, because that's what all this is right here. This is all echo, right? So your song in itself is 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So here's where I think, right? Because you were talking about energy and stuff like that, right? This bass noise does not stop throughout the entirety of the track. Like, even towards the end, that bass noise is super constant, right? And I think that when you're trying to talk about energy, it's all about pulling back and then throwing it back at your face, right? And I like the way that you were opening up, right? Like, when you open that up, that's really good, right? So here's the only thing that I'm confused about. That vocal and that little noise right there, it's hard to hear that little hornish noise. We don't really hear it again. And I think this is where we can start breaking into, like, where I would say some criticism is, okay? I think that this track is a little bit too short, okay? I think that there's a lot of potential in this song right here to where we can expand it a little bit more and give it a little bit more complexity. Okay, so I appreciate that you added this break right here, but you still have the kick going. Even though that it's lost, it's still there, right? So we're not really getting a break. We're getting like it's like I'm in limbo. It's like a build up, but it's not a build up, and I'm kind of like, where are we going, right? Whereas where I think this song, what it needs is it needs this beautiful break in the middle. And it needs to be luscious, and it needs to be matching the vibe of this, because I think that you could play around with the lead. Very, very simple. Because you kind of have a lead like that. Because like that noise, I would be playing around with that to like really especially in the second half, because when we're talking about energy, there's a lot of it that kind of is tied to like a journey, right? And so if we're really wanting to make an impact with energy, a lot of it is like controlling, like we're controlling where the journey goes, and we should be hitting a climax somewhere in between, either straight up into it hardcore early in the thing where it's like bass in your face, lots of different noises hitting you, whatever, or we're building up to it towards the end where it's like, let's see, intro, build, if you believe in a build. I don't, but intro, build, verse 1, verse 2, breakdown, build, verse 3, verse 2, verse 1, outro, or breakdown, build, verse 3, verse 1, outro. And here it's kind of like we don't really get that part of the journey, right? And some of the things that, like, when we talk about arrangements and stuff like that, a lot of people are already trained by ear, whether they realize it subconsciously or not. They know the arrangement of a song. And I think even with a chill song like this, right? So like even the intro is kind of like not really an intro. But I like how we're opening up. Like this, personally, I feel like if you were to have like this really luscious intro with some of these effects and then go into the song, that would be the perfect transition into what I would call this section being verse 1. Like that would be a verse 1, right? Kind of building into like the verse 2. Or maybe this is part of verse 1, right? Where we're talking about 16s. Yeah, like the way that you capitalized here is really good. And I think that we just have to move it over here or add a little bit more of a break so that way that impact really hits again. See, I love that noise. That horn noise is really good. Yeah, see, I picked up on that other lead. I think you added this. Yeah, like I would make those counters and that horn a little bit louder, because that bass noise is like I said, it's so consistent that like it I know we're talking about electronic music, so it's repetitive, but to the listener, if we're walking down the street, right, and all we see is just the sidewalk, right, that's really boring. So if we add these little things on the side to start making the walk a little bit more interesting, where we have the lead, right? And maybe we're looking over there and they're like, oh, look, there's a bird and there's some trees, right? With the horn. And then we look over to the right, which is like the counter melody, right? It piques our interest. And I think that if you got those levels up a little bit to give them their own space and a little bit more emphasis, I think it makes this track so much more interesting. Yeah, it's almost like it's missing like 32 bars of a 16 in the intro and a 16 in the breakdown. And I think if you did that, you would have a like complete song that completes the journey. And then also yeah, because that's a great outro. This right here is a great outro. Yeah, something like that, just to kind of like, again, the way that I think about things is like when we entered the third verse, right? So if you were, again, in my Lego world, where you got intro, blah 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 blah, right? The third verse always has a different sound to it, and what I mean is that something different is introduced to this. Maybe it's a bass noise that comes in that's like, where that you have that constant thing going on. Maybe you break the bass up and you throw in one new bass noise, and then as we go to the outro, we pull that back out, right? Or maybe we introduce that counter melody to finally come into it, and it gets that attention that something new is happening, right? But that's what I mean by like, I felt like listening to this version and the other version, it was the same thing of, I feel like we're still not going anywhere on this journey, if that makes sense. Just because, again, like that bass is so consistent and very upfront that it's super like, I don't feel like we're changing anything. But again, I think the vibe of everything and the sound selections that you have are excellent. Like, I don't want to get that mixed up in the mix of anything. I think what you have is really, really good. It's just, yes, very loopy. That's a perfect way of saying it. Everything sounds like it's a loop to a loop to a loop. And there's no like in my head, the way that I view bars is like, if we're doing 16 bars, there's always that last bar that should sound like we're going into something different, or there's like a transition to something bigger or something else that's completely different that's about to happen. And I think that when we get very loopy, we have to play around with something interesting, whether it's a percussion noise, whether it's that vocal. A counter melody to me is one of the easiest things you can do, because if you have the groove down and you have that lead, now you're just trying to fill that space of like, whatever that's doing, just do the opposite of what that's doing. Just again, so that way people don't get stuck in that loop of listening. And all of this stuff that we're talking about is what I call like flair. Like it's because again, if we listen to this sounds good, right? Like it doesn't sound bad, but the flair is what makes the touches of this song a Mirabu song and not just another song, if that makes sense, right? So I think what you have again is not bad, and why I was like, I can't really voice, or I can't really word it in text what I'm thinking, but it's just making this song more a Mirabu song, adding something to make it where we're going on a journey or something is happening where our walk on the street is getting more extravagant. And then also I would say some of the, because I kept going to No Mana because maybe it's not a No Mana song that I have like. There's a song that sounds like this song, but I can't place where I've heard it. But I would say is that like, if you added a breakdown to this song, it would sound phenomenal. Like it's calling for it in a way. Yeah, because we get yeah, we only get 4 counts without a kick. Yeah, see, I love fills. Because the other thing that a lot of people don't say, I think for me, one of the biggest things that if a producer has really good fills, I can tell that they have a little bit of like class, because fills are super unique. Like if you can get a fill that sounds unique, that tells me your skill level is pretty high. I don't know why I've always had that like mantra in my head is like fills that are unique tell me everything I need to know about a producer. Like that's all I need to know. If your fills are good, that means that you're really good. Like I don't know why. But like even that, like I know that's a sample, but like just the placement of that fill hits right. Also, the fills theory that I have came from Cone Sound, and Josh knows how I feel about Cone Sound, so their fills are like godly. They're just on a whole different other. They're on a whole different other level. But yeah, I hope everything I'm saying makes some sort of sense. Like, and why I'm saying like what you have is good. Like if I was to like, yeah, you know how I feel about Cone. You know, like it's not bad. Like that's why I'm saying it's not roasting or anything. Like it's not bad. It's just like it's calling for a little bit more of like the finer details to make it your track. Like, and what I mean by your track is like the sprinkle on it to like really make it like your track, if that makes sense. And why I'm like, it's not bad. Like, I don't want you to think it's bad. It's not bad. It's just, it needs a couple extra Lego pieces in it and a little bit of a sprinkle of magic powder on it. And you have something that I would say is really good. Technically speaking, there's something happening with your kick, and I don't know if it's a compressor is on it. I don't know if there's something clashing with the transient, but I thought I was tripping out again as I've been listening to it, and the way that the kick sounds here and here sound absolutely different, and I don't know and why I'm like, I hate clicky kicks and whatnot. It sounds like a completely different kick when everything else is introduced into that. So I would kind of go in and see what's going on with the kick. Maybe it is a clash and why it sounds a little clicky, or maybe if you have like a snap or something on your kick, maybe that's sticking out a little bit too much, and maybe we just need to level it off a little bit to try to get that clickiness out. But I think overall, like technically speaking, I don't really have any other details. And I'll listen to it full blast on my Audis over here after stream because, like I said, Josh, you missed it, bro. All of my settings again on the sound side got completely wiped, and I had to start all over again. So we had all the stuff happen last stream where all that side got wiped. Now the sound stuff got wiped, so I had to redo everything live again. Shocker. And I was about to gloat. I was about to even tag you and say, you'd be so proud. I got everything set up 15 minutes before. Everything is working. And then I'm playing 10 minutes into the stream. I'm looking at everything and I'm like, there's no audio. I was like, bro, this is what I get for trying to gloat. I was like, this is what I get. So, yeah. So, Mirbu, I would go into this. I would say, do not look at things. I would look at things in a way of like, how do I say this? I don't want to say a DJ because that's not the perspective I'm listening to it, or I'm thinking of. If you were listening to No Mana, right? And you were like, this is a No Mana song, what would you say in the song that if you were to tell No Mana what you would do? Like, it sounds like something's off here or like whatever, right? And then we take that same kind of thinking and then we say, okay, if I were to tell No Mana that, right, listening to a No Mana song, then we just need to apply it to myself and say, okay, I got this. This is where some of this stuff just doesn't line up. It just doesn't, like, something's missing or whatever. And then also, I don't know, do you use references at all? I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna be having this on the background of streams and whatnot. I would advise personally, and this is something that I'm doing even now currently, like getting back into producing and stuff like that. Going back to references and sticking to a reference. And the reason why is because I think if you have a strong arrangement, and let's just say we copy a No Mana song and we use that as our reference, we know for a fact that the arrangement part of it is not going to be in question. And the reason why we know that it wouldn't be a question is because we're following a song that is good, it's been released, we look up to that song, and it's great. And we don't have to think about that, right? We would be in the thing of like, okay, so we know what the song structure is like. We just need to build a house for it now. As long as we stay within the parameters, right? So once we get to the end of that, and let's just say we build it out exactly like the structure of what a No Mana song is, not saying the details and all that, but just the structure of it, right? Then we could go back in and say, okay, I don't like how this is here. Let's move this section over here and then work our way around that. But if you have all the pieces there, you know that you kind of have a working formula that we just gotta like go forward with. Dude, I said the same thing. I'm like, I feel like I've heard this song before and I don't know where. I like literally, I'm like, I feel like I've heard something almost like it. I don't think it's Eddie, but I don't know who on the label. But I'm like, that's why I literally said it like 30 minutes ago. I'm like, I feel like I've heard something like this. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's not No Mana, but I feel like I've heard a song like this. Okay. Josh, thank you for making me feel like I'm not crazy. I feel like I'm crazy like 20% of the time. Okay, let me go look. I don't have Discord open. I just realized that. And I just realized there's two little red. Oh, that's not you. Oh, those announcements don't matter. Okay. Did you link the song? I don't see it anywhere. Is this I can't talk right now. Assistemi song? Is that okay? I'm like trying to think in my head because I don't listen to Morgan. I don't know any of his music. I don't know. Okay, let me listen to this real fast. I don't know if this is also gonna play. Hold on, let me pause this real fast. Is this playing on the stream? Okay, it is. Okay, here's the only problem with this kind of song. This is what I call a pop song because those vocals are purely on her. There's a reason why they don't need all of these build-ups and fanciness is because she is the sole focus of the song. No, I know. That's the one that he linked. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying is like this was his reference for his song. Oh. By who? Who's it by? I'm not listening to Morgan. Me and Morgan got into it, so no. Yeah. That was back when another producer and they tried to dogpile me and all that stuff, and I was like, y'all can go fuck yourself. I don't care. Where? Okay, if this gets me popped, I'm gonna be upset, but I don't care. I need to know. What if I listen to a song that isn't that song? Let's see. Yeah, see something like this right here? But a little bit longer. Not even the keys or anything needed. But that section, like the core of what that is, and then you have your kick, right? So let's just say, like, we do this, right? Follow along with my crazy thinking. Right? Dun-na-na-na-na-na, whatever, right? And then we go... No, not that section. Right? And then we go right into this, right? It hits so much harder. And then we're back into it. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's because I can live with this. I listened to so much of it. I know exactly. I can live with that. The kick in the intro, yeah, cool, got it. Right, and then we're just building in that ambiance. Like the section doesn't need to have chords and it doesn't need to be this big whatever, but it just needs to have like a section just to breathe a little bit. That's what it just needs that. So when I say a breakdown or like whatever, it's really just like that ambiance of letting all those kind of atmospheric noises just have a second to breathe. And then also, one of the things that's really important to me is having little sections being able to have its own little moment. And I think an ambiance moment like that, or a breakdown, or whatever word you want to use for that, it gives that section for all of those little things to like breathe. And then also you can hear all of them so clearly now. Like there's no kick, there's no, it's just that. So I would just say maybe we just give it maybe 8 bars, right? We say maybe we try to, in that section, we give it 8 bars just to let it breathe a little bit. Maybe that's too long. Let's have that, right? But just a little bit more just to let everything breathe. Because, again, the song is only 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Like, and you know damn well that a Mousetrap song can go for 7 minutes. So, yeah. So like I said, it's not bad. You have something that's really good, something that is easily built upon to make it even better. A little bit of your own little flair, your own little dust on this. Get rid of it. Yeah, get off TikTok. It's bad for you. It's bad for your health. But you have something here that's good. It's really good. But as always, and just me in general, you can always do a little bit better. Like there's always just a little bit more to make it your own. That I'm just like, that's a Miraboo song. I know a Miraboo song. That's a Miraboo song. And I love that horn. I wish that horn was a little bit more. Where is it? Like that noise? I love that noise. I don't know where I've heard that noise before, but I like that noise. Is it levels? I don't know. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope that it gives you a little bit of confidence and just a little bit of something to work towards to make it even better and greater and grander. I would say that if this is a song that I think that you would want to release on your own, I think it would do pretty well if you did a little bit of, you know, finessing here and there. Gave it a little bit of a concept or something like that, and I think this would be good. So, well, I appreciate that. As I said, I get a bad rep for who I am, and I don't do myself any favors. And I know I can be a bit of a dickhead sometimes. I know, but when it comes down to like actually giving people advice or like trying to give some like different perspective, like I'm not gonna like dick around. I'm gonna try to tell you things like, you know what I mean? I want to help you. Like that's really my main point. Is like I like legit. I'm losing my voice now. I don't think I've done a stream for longer than 2 hours, and we're at 3 hours, and I still have to pack. But I really do want to help. Like that's my whole goal is like, if there's things that you need help on, like that's my whole thing. I'm not one for tearing things down or people down. That's just not my MO. And as always, like I try to do reviews and stuff like that in the server. But like I said, I've been on the road and everything like that. So sometimes I'll send a voicemail. Or not a voicemail, Jesus Christ. A voice message or something like that when I'm trying to like really get my thoughts across. But like I said, lately it's just hit and miss with where I'm at. So yeah, I did rip you apart and you deserved it. And now you're better. So you're welcome. Yeah, you're better than ever. You're gonna make big moves the rest of the year. You're gonna own Toronto. You're gonna kill it. You're welcome. Free of charge. I do have a plan. I'm gonna be nicer this year. I think my main goal is to stop talking to so many people and just be nicer. I think I can do that. I think that's a possibility. I think that's a workable goal. What do you think? No, why does everybody want me to be mean? I don't want to be mean. I want to be nice. I want to be approachable. That's what it is. I lied. I'm not going to be approachable. I think at this point, like, I've already just have a bad name that it's like, whatever. I don't care. But I do want to just not be as mean. Because I think the thing is, with me personally, I think my tone gets mixed. Like, I send the wrong tone out to people, and I don't mean it. But I get why people would think, like, this dude is such a dick. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, again, like, I'm just a straight shooter, though. Like, if we're gonna talk, like, I'm gonna talk. Like, but, yeah. Yeah, I can do another review. I was gonna jump off, but if you have something, I'm definitely willing to stay on, so, but yeah, I want to try to be more, maybe nicer isn't the word, optimistic and positive, just a bit more. Like, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? And this is something that I've learned a lot lately. Oh, that cover tripped me out. I'm not gonna fake. That cover tripped me out. Um, I do find it funny, and I had this realization last. Everything happened after my birthday. Like, my birthday in May, I had. It's like when you turn 30, the world just makes so much more sense. Um, I find it funny that. How do I say this? I find it funny. I love 30. So far, 30 is like my favorite year in my life. I feel like my life makes more sense. I feel like my head is on straight. I feel like my what is it? The frontal cortex is fully developed. I feel like all my emotional emo stage is like fully done. Like, everything just makes more sense. But here's what I was gonna say. Like, you know when people say, like, don't meet your heroes and stuff like that, right? I've also realized, yeah, my brain is fully developed. What's the meme that is like, what is it? Don't kill yourself because, like, COD 17 or something. That's the other thing is, like, dude, if you can make it to 30 and, like, you try to not destroy your brain, it's amazing. Like, I feel like when iPhone 30, I feel like when Aaron was like, I'm alive and I'm free, but he's like in the sky, that's how I feel. When I hit 30, I'm like, bro, life just feels great again. Everything makes more sense. Like, that's literally how I felt. So, okay, I thought. I think that when people meet their heroes, that's bad, right? Like, typically it's not a great thing. But I also realized that people also don't like meeting people that have the traits of their heroes. And what I mean is that there's a lot of people that look up to certain artists that are absolute dickheads, but they champion it. And they're like, oh, that person's awesome because they stand up for whatever, XYZ, or yeah, they're just a major troll or whatever, right? But then they also meet the same person that is not emulating that person. I want to make this very clear. They're not emulating that person. They just have these same human traits as that person, and that person gets a bad rap. That's me. I get the bad rep because I am like the exact same person or the personality type as some of these people, but the only thing that makes it different is A, I'm not that person, and B, I'm not rich and famous. That's it. Outside of that, I have the same personality complex as some of these people. Yeah, but like he's a nice person. Like every person that I know that knows him will say that person is a very nice person. You know what I mean? Like those are people that are good people. Like I am a little bit more I have more of a diva complex. I don't think there's any other way to say it. Like I also am a straight shooter. Like I don't sugarcoat things. I will try to be as nice as possible, but like I value my time a lot, and I'm just not going to sugarcoat things. Like I'm just going to go like right to the point because that's just who I am. I don't want to waste time. Like I don't want to beat around the bush. Like I want to go through the bush. Like but no, like see, those are things that are really important that people don't realize. If you got the email, send stuff. Because even if like because these are human beings too, right? Like some people have been abused, and that's why if they did not give you their email, there's a reason why they did not give you their email. If they tell you to go talk to their manager or their assistant, they don't want to talk to you because they've probably already been burnt through whatever that it's like, you know what I mean? Like I would understand. Like once I started meeting people of like the higher value artists or whatever, things made so much more sense. And then once I started working with like Emanate, and then I started getting into like the business of like how all that stuff works, I was like, oh yeah, I totally get why people, they don't want to talk to people. Like I get it. But like again, like those are things that are valuable, and like if you have a contact, they gave you that for a reason. So don't, it's almost like if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing, because they have already forgotten who you are. And if you, what I would say is a face card where we've met face to face and like you know who I am and we've talked, I have a memory of you, and it's like, oh my god, yeah, I totally met you. Yes, I got it. And why I would say that, like, you got to take advantage of that. Like those are things that you just can't, you know what I mean? That's like a thing. So, okay, let's play this. I'm going to turn it down a bit because I don't know how loud this is going to be. So I need you to tell me if it's like loud. Oh, I have to sign in? Boo. Boo. Watch me not be able to play this. Oh, I can. Okay, can you hear this? No, I'm not signed into my SoundCloud. I don't use SoundCloud, which is not great to like, whatever, but. And then also, I don't know which mixer works. That's the other part of this whole night. I don't know what mixer works and what doesn't. Okay, before I forget, I would turn this bass up a bit. The dotted one, turn that one up. Oh, my headphones are turned up all the way. Yeah, I can see that.
But I've never seen you bang. I say you in the game, but I've yet to see you play. Say you going hard, and nobody feels the same.
Okay. So, if you do you have this pulled up right now on your SoundCloud? Because when I say this, it'll make so much more sense if you're looking at it. I just got sad. I just realized I drank both my coffees. Okay, you don't have to, but here's what I want you to remember, okay? If you're looking at this waveform, you have 3 peaks that are happening that are way above the rest of your mix. Like, it looks like a dolphin. Like, there's one that happens like at 50. It's like at 50, 250, and then 340. But oh, I don't know why I gotta go through. My apologies. I don't know why Streamlabs is saying don't post links either. So I'll have to go in and fix that again. But the reason I'm saying that is because what SoundCloud is really good for when visualizing this stuff is making sure that your mix is not, and I'm not saying you got to break it either, right? But you want your dynamics to be sort of somewhat on the same level. So when you have peaks that are pretty crazy like that, those are good indicators that you have something that is, you got something going on to causing that peak to just kick. And then you just got to go in and figure out what that noise is, and then either a good thing to do is putting a limiter on it and not putting it to where it's like, you know, hardcore doing anything, but it can catch a weird, just catching that, so that way it doesn't peak like that. First and foremost, just looking at this straight up. I think the other thing that I was thinking about is, I know that y'all were talking about the vocal too. I think that in one of these breaks, I think you could play around with the vocal to make it a little bit more interesting. Throughout, whether that's part of like this section, right? And even kind of more of like a creative like tweak or whatever. I think one of the other things that would be pretty cool is like having it go like bang, bang, bang. Or something of that nature, just to kind of play on the, you know, on the name of everything. I think other than that though, for what this track is, I think you pretty much nailed it. I have a feeling about this sound. I don't know if it's good or bad. That noise that you introduced in the latter part of the track. I have a feeling about it. I just don't know what that feeling is. But I will 100% say that I think I can definitely see your flair. I can see your flair in this song. I really appreciate that I can see more of you in this song. I like that I'm starting to see the flair that you have starting to really kick into like your productions now. And I think that this is a major growth of like you, whether you realize that or not. It's pretty big. So, yeah, let me go through and do that. I'm so sorry. I probably lost a person trying to just join in. Streamlabs. But yeah, I think for what the track is and what it's about, I think you pretty much nailed, you know, the I did this earlier. How did I do this? Oh, cloud chat. Hold on. I want to try to fix this. Cloudbot link. Let me turn that off. Yeah. Oh wait, you can auto permit? Holy crap. Okay, maybe I leave that on then. Oops. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Okay, so yeah, I just turned it off for now. I don't care. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, link is off, so now if people send, we should be good. Okay, like again, I think like for the most part, it's a good song. It's very mainstreamy. I think that's what it's good for. I think there's a couple things that you can do pretty interesting with the vocal, like I already said. It gives me a lot of, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but like Hunter vibes. Like it's very like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not, yeah, like Hunter, Oddmont, that's perfect. Okay, we're on the same wavelength. So it's kind of like that, but it's like, I think if you were to do this style even more, I think that there's actually a really cool plugin that does this. It's Big Baby Audio. I think that's the name of it. But what it does is it gives you like this it's Baby Audio. I don't know why I got Big Audio. But they have a couple plugins that really have this cool, like the BA. It's actually on sale for $50, which isn't bad. But it's like an analog synth that's very dedicated to like the 80s. The Comeback Kid is very 80s coded. Crystalite is 80s coded. But stuff like that is really cool that like gives you that like oomph. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would definitely say like something like that is cool. Super VHS is something that I used hardcore heavy when I first started. That was really cool. So yeah, I'm glad to see this growth from you, man. Like it really is like one of those things to where like I fully like hear it now. It's just like now it's like getting extra. You know what I mean? Like getting super extra. So okay, we got another one, so we can get rid of that one. Okay. And because I don't know if they're here or not, but I want to be nice. Because I see it. Tresler, Tresliv. I don't know how to say that name, but I'm gonna listen to this because, like I said, I feel bad that it got kicked out of the chat. So I'm gonna go through and listen to it. Ooh, R&B. Let's go. Also, I really hope some of this stuff doesn't get me kicked again. Like, dude. I don't know if I told you. I have to stop doing all my Bandcamp stuff because I got hit on YouTube. And yesterday on YouTube and Twitch. Like, funny enough, on YouTube, it was like no, I was playing Bandcamp stuff. So I was like going through and like playing all the picks like I did last time, right? Yeah, I got hit on so here's what's weird, right? So on YouTube, I get it. It's auto whatever. It's not done by like an actual person. It's like auto whatever and it's like copyright whatever. So I deleted that whatever. On Twitch, it's actually really interesting because it's actually part of the song that got copyrighted. Yeah, copyrighted. So it's actually like literally like a minute out of a 6-minute song that got hit. Like if you go back and watch yesterday's VOD, it's like one sliver of the entirety of the song. It's super weird. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of sad because I'm like, bro, I love doing like Bandcamp finds and all that stuff, like showing off like all that, but now I can't because I'm like I don't want to get hit again. So maybe that's just something like that's why I wanted to try Kickout because I was like maybe their copyright is a little bit more like less restrictive. Not, you know what I mean? So that way I can like show all my picks and stuff, but whatever. So okay, let's listen to this. I forgot how to use SoundCloud. Yeah, I forgot. But yeah, the same thing also with this one is that transient in that front is very, very big. Trace. I still want to know how to say this name. I can't say this name. Tresliv? When does this come out? I like. Oh, it came out 7 days ago. Okay.
Told me stay down so I won't leave. Brought stress, now she Gucci'd in the front row, polished and calm. But she down.
I like it. It's very like R&B. I'm not really into R&B.
Girl, we rose through the cracks, now we cover the base. I don't need a spot from the concrete, yeah.
But I like it. I like it. It's very like chill. And I love chill. I was kind of expecting to hear like a run, you know? Like a small little run.
Who racing?
What is that? Trying to go to my channel, bro. Yeah, that's a good song. I like that song. That was good. So, whoa. Did SoundCloud get fucking ads? Bro. What? Yo. All right, whatever. Okay. With that, I'm gonna bid you adieu. I still have to pack. I still have to eat dinner. I'm very much behind on everything because I was like, I'm gonna call it at like 10:30, but then we got uber lit, so I couldn't. So, with that, I bid you adieu. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out and just chilling and all that stuff and whatnot. So, to the two friends that we made tonight, I'm very glad to have met you, and hopefully we can keep in contact in the server and all that jazz. So, as always, Miraboo, keep up what you got. Josh, keep going with what you got. I will be back streaming hopefully Saturday, I think. I don't know. I know y'all don't really watch streams on Saturday, but maybe we get back on our schedule and do like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. So, but with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. If you're watching this on the rerun, I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, or whatever time zone you live in. So, so yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. And where's my music? DJ, where's my music? Actually, Miraboo, you're just gonna play us out. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, with that, I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.